In this video, I want to go over 3 different types of percentage problems that you need to know. Why? Because these types of problems are going to occur in many, many different variations. So if you understand these 3 problems, then you're going to be much more equipped for whatever type of problem that you are working on that's dealing with percents, how to approach it. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one, which is going to be a very familiar one for those of you that have worked in percents. And that is, what is 15% of 75? Now, we all know the trick of if it was like, what is 10% of 50? And then you can just say, well, that's the same thing as 50% of, 10, right? And that's a great trick that works when you have something that is easy numbers like that. But what about when you're dealing with 15% of 75? You need to understand the definition of percentage. The definition of percentage means part of 100. So whenever I see something that is percent, I'm immediately going to take that number and put it over 100. And that is going to be the theme for whenever I'm working with percentage. So it says, what is 15%? So immediately 15%. So I'm going to say that is 15 over 100 of 75. So what that means is I'm looking for a number that instead of being out of 100 is going to be out of 75, that it would be equivalent to 15, meaning I need to include a equal sign. So now I'm going to have an X, which is going to be my variable, which is going to be my unknown, and that's going to be over a 75. Now I have what we call a proportion. And when we're dealing with percentage problems, this is what we always want to look to create a proportion. Because then once we create a proportion, we can apply the cross product to go ahead and solve for X. But before we go and get into multiplying, or, you could just multiply 75 on the other side or applying the cross product, we always want to make sure, can we simplify things? Can we break this down? You see, I have a 15 over 100. Can I reduce that? I don't want to be dealing with really, really big numbers. So I notice that 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 is going to go into 100 20 times. So now I have 3 over 20 is equal to an X over a 75. Now I can apply the cross product, so I can multiply a 75 times 3. 75 times 2 is 150, plus another 75 is going to be a 225, and that's going to equal to a 20x. Now just divide by 20 on both sides, and I need to figure out what that is. Now I do have a calculator with me, but I want to go back through this because a lot of students, after they kind of get out of the elementary grades, totally forget long division. And unfortunately, it keeps on coming up and up again. And even though, yes, you're not going to go to the grocery store and need to do long division, you should know at least the basic process and remember how to go through it. So let's do a quick little review, if it is a review for you. And let's actually get the decimal. Let's get a couple decimal values for exactly what this percent is going to be. Because right now, I just have 20 divided by 225. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our divisor here, and we're going to say, does it divide into 2? No. So then we go to the next 2 digits. Does it divide into 22? Yes, it does, 1 time. Then I'm going to take that first term in my quotient, multiply it by my divisor, and I'm going to get a 20. Now I'm going to subtract just these 2 rows here, or just subtract the 2 rows. And you're going to see here now I'm going to get a 2, and you can go ahead and bring down this 5 as well. Does 20 evenly divide into 20? Yes, or I'm sorry, does 20 divide into 25? Yes, it does. That's going to be 1 time. And then 1 times 20 is going to be, again, another 20. And then now you can go ahead and subtract again, and we have a 5. Unfortunately, though, you can see 20 does not evenly divide into 5. So now that is going to create our decimal point. Once we've created our decimal point, though, we can start adding zeros. So I can bring down a 0 over here. And now I can say, does 20 divide into 50? 20 divides into 50, let's say 2 times. 2 times 20 is going to be a 40. Subtract your rows. Again, you're going to get a 10. But again, once we've already created our decimals, we just have unlimited zeros here. So I can bring another 0 here. 20 divides into 100. You can say, hey, that's going to go in 5 times. And then 5 times 20 is 100. And look at, ladies and gentlemen, we get a 0 as our remainder. So 11.25 is going to be our final answer. So we can say X is equal to 11.25%. All right, number 2 is another percentage problem that comes up often that is important for us to be able to set up. And that is going to be, what is the percent what is the percentage of 72 of what is the percentage of 72 is 14? There we go. What is the percentage of 72 is 14? Okay, now remember I talked about percent means part of 100. So in this case, we don't have what our percentage is. We don't have the value out of 100. So I immediately am just going to say, well, that's going to be my unknown out of 100. And it says, what is the percentage of 72 is 14. So what that's saying is 14 out of 72. But what is that out of 100? That's what this question is asking us. So again, just like we did and looked in the previous problems, I don't want to work through, I don't want to apply the cross product. I don't want to multiply by 72 and then divide by 100 until I can start simplifying things. So I want to say like, all right, looking up here, how can I reduce a 14 and a 72? I recognize they're both even, so I know I can divide them by 2. So let's go and rewrite this as x over 100. That would be a 7 over a 36. Seems pretty good to me. Now we can go ahead and multiply the cross product. So 36 times x is going to be a 36x, and 7 times 100 is going to equal to a 700. Now, just to go ahead and divide by 36 on both sides, and x equals, again, we have some long division, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and work through it. I'll use a little space over here. So I have 36 divided into 700. So in this case, I know 36 times 2 is 72, right? So 36 is only going to go into 700 here. Let's say that's 1 time. 1 times 36 is a 36. When you subtract a 36, that's going to give me a 34. So now I have a 34. 36 does not go into 34. So now I need to bring down a 0. Now I know 36 times 10 is 360, which obviously is larger than 340. So I can just tell that it's going to be 9 is the next answer. So then I need to multiply a 9 times a 36. And you can multiply, distribute all from on there. That should be a 300. That's 54, 24. So 324. Now I can go ahead and subtract those, and that is going to give me a 16. Now, obviously, 36 does not divide into a 16, so I'm going to create my decimal point, and then I can go ahead and add my 0. Now, 36 divides into a 360. Let's see, that's 72. That'd be 36 times 2 is 72, and then double that to 144. Looks like that's going to be pretty good, so I'll multiply that by 4. 4 times 36 is a 144, which again is also going to give me another 16. And what you're going to notice here, guys, is I'm just going to keep on repeating myself, right? As I'm just going to keep on going on. So this is going to be a 0.4, and it's going to be repeating. So x is going to equal a 19.4, and we'll just say that's going to be a repeating value. And that's 19.4 out of 100, so that'd be your 19.4%. And that's what I had over here, right? 11. What is 15% of 11? Oh, shoot. That's not a percentage. I made that mistake. There you go. That's not percent. All right. Now let's get into the third example of the word problem or percentage problem that you would need to know. So that is going to be 37 is 4% of what? Okay, so again, immediately, once I see the percent, I see 4. I know that's part of 100. I'm going to rewrite that as 4 out of 100. And then it's saying 37 is 4% of what? So 37 out of something. So 37 is going to be your part, and our unknown, our whole, is going to be our unknown, our variable, which we'll put here. But again, before I go and get into the cross product, ladies and gentlemen, what I simply want to do is reduce this. I know 4 divides into 4 1 time, and 4 goes into 100. That's going to be a 25 times. And that's going to equal a 37 times x. Now, the cool thing here about this cross product is when I multiply, I already reduced this down to 1. So x is going to equal a 37 times a 25. So now I don't need to do long division. Relax. Now we just need to do 2-digit multiplication. Again, not going to work with our calculator. Here's the way that I like to do 2-digit multiplication. So what I'm going to do is a little bit different than the way that I learned it in grade school and the way that it's commonly properly taught. I like to go ahead and do multiplication 4 times. I do 30 times 20, which is going to be 600. I do 30 because that's in the 10 spot, right? I do 30 times 5, which is a 150. I do 20 times 7, which is a 140. And again, 2 represents the 20 part, right? And then I'll do my ones. Sorry, so I should explain this. So I did my 10s times my 10s, which is 20 times 30. I did my 10s times my 1s, 30 times 5. I did my 10s times my other 1, which is 20 times 7. And then I'm going to do my 1s times my 1s, which is a 35. So that now I can just add vertically. So that's a 5, that'd be 9, that's a 12, and that's 6, 7, 8, 9. 925. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is hopefully a good review for understanding percentages, but then also how to work through the digits when you can't rely on some tricks online to get you through. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully you have a little bit more confidence in your percentages. And if you like a little bit more problems on some of these basics with fractions and integers, then check out the next video I have for you here. Cheers.